Welcome to Talk of the Tavern and Father Son Fridays.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I said that. Anyhow, in this video, we're talking about Universal Studios' Dark Universe movie series. Right?
Yeah. We'll be right back.
Cause we're the talk the tavern.
Okay. What?
What?
You open your mouth to say something.
Oh.
Oh.
Eh.
So, Universal Studios, Universal Movies, they own the rights to the classic movie monsters from the 1920s through 1950s, such as Dracula, Invisible Man, Wolfman, Frankenstein, The Mummy, Creature from Black Lagoon.
Godzilla.
You know what? Actually, I want to double check and make sure Godzilla and King Kong, those were Universal, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was pretty sure. I just want to double check.
But they didn't have the Dark Universe logo after the Universal.
Right, well, theoretically, and we'll talk about this in a minute, the Dark Universe logo only hit one movie, and that was it.
Yeah.
So recently, being somewhere between this year and, depending who you talk to, maybe 5-6 years ago, Universal wanted a franchise similar to the Marvel Disney franchise, or maybe the Disney Muppet franchise, or they just wanted a franchise that they could build on, connect movies, create a world interconnected in these movies, and have many sequels and make lots of money. So, should we start with the way past? I mean, the like Godzilla, or should we start with the recent stuff and work back?
Let's start with the past stuff, work forward.
Okay, so I think first was Godzilla.
Yeah.
This is one with what's his name from Kick-Ass, and then Bryan Cranston also as the father. Whatever your opinion on it is, there we go. It happened. But public opinion was not that great. It didn't do that good at the box office, so we never saw a Godzilla Part 2 from Universal.
Yeah.
But, in theory, it was something bigger. And you had the Monarch Corporation. In the next movie to come out, which would have been...
Bride of Frankenstein.
No. That was supposed to be the one coming out next year that's now coming out. Not at all. There was I, Frankenstein, and Dracula Untold. These were rumored to be connected to something larger, but never substantiated, didn't have the Dark Universe logo attached to it, etc.
Yeah.
After that, we came into... I'm trying to remember everything we just watched the past couple days.
It was Godzilla, Dracula, Kong.
And I, Frankenstein, before Dracula.
Yeah.
Was Kong the next one?
Yeah.
What else did we watch? Kong, Mummy,
Godzilla, and
King Kong. I thought there was 5.
No, there were only 4.
Okay. I must have dozed through the one that doesn't exist.
Dracula Untold.
I did sleep through part of that. That was a good nap. Well, throughout Godzilla, Kong, there's one scene, spoiler, in Dracula Untold. Late on the uptake. In Dracula Untold, at the very end, where he has come to modern times, or lived till modern times, and there you go. And I don't know if the Monarch logo is shown on a building or a coffee cup. I didn't pay close attention. I forgot to look for it. What it boils down to. And also, I don't think Monarch was mentioned in The Mummy.
It was not. But there were things, spoilers, in The Mummy, in the building they go to with Mr. Hyde. Mr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, whichever you prefer. But there are things that relate to Kong, Dracula, Godzilla, Creature of the Black Lagoon.
I don't remember the Godzilla and the Kong thing, but I definitely remember there was a vampire skull, there was a brain like Frankenstein's monster.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely some fishy scale. So it related to the humanoid monsters, possibly the other ones if I wasn't paying close attention.
I think I saw, like, one of the big things from Kong.
I saw like an ape skull, but it was next to
Yeah.
human-sized skulls.
Uh,
So I don't know, but again, there's a chance you noticed something I didn't. Okay, so there's your breakdown, the summary of what we're looking at here. Now, to go on to some more technical stuff, the movies were wellish made. I'd have to say the special effects pretty flawless.
yeah.
Oh, great special effects because they threw money into that. The other thing they threw money into was big name actors.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is what they expected to carry the movies. Names and special effects. And I think that was their mistake.
Yeah.
If they focused more on... And there was nothing wrong with the directing, so I'm not actually knocking any of the directors. But maybe the story. Give you something more relatable.
Yeah.
Because...
Instead of just, oh, there's a random island. Let's go check it out. Oh, there's a big gorilla. Shoot it.
Well, with the characters there, I feel Tom Hiddleston was pretty relatable.
Yeah.
And now he's not relatable on the level of, I did that kind of work, because he's essentially a ex-military scout type person. But you get human connections where he doesn't want a relationship because he's never comes home from war. It's kind of a PTSD thing. You don't relate to any of the soldiers, like the dozen soldiers. They there's one writing home to his son, so you almost find a connection. The camaraderie between them, you almost find a connection, but it falls short. Actually, Brie Larson, nothing about her character background, really, besides where she worked and why she's coming along.
Yeah.
But, the most relatable character would actually be Riley. The old man they found.
Oh, yeah, the weird old dude.
Yeah. Who had been trapped on this island. He was the most relatable. They gave you nothing to hold on to love or care. In Godzilla, they kind of did. You had the father who you're like, oh, he really cares about his wife more than his child. Perhaps that could have been written better. That sounds horrible, I guess, but yeah, usually as a parent, you are going to fear and worry about your child above your spouse, and hopefully your spouse agrees with you on that.
Yeah.
But then Bryan Cranston's character as a father dies, and now it's all up to the son, who he has a son of its own, and he has to go. It's just, there's no huge connection, human connection. There's nothing that draws you in and makes you part of the story.
Yeah.
Now, what about Dracula Untold? What do you think there?
It was relatable-ish in the fact that he was trying to protect his son and his kingdom.
But no relationship with his son, really, besides a hug here or I'm proud of you there. And
yeah.
no real depth to that.
Mm-hmm. But, I mean, keep in mind how it was back in 1400.
Well, I don't think the producers and directors kept it in mind because they had plate mail armor.
Yeah, that's true.
And also, the wife was allowed to speak instead of being just sequestered away to have babies. So I don't think they were going for period realism there.
No.
And then in The Mummy, there's the most relatable character becomes essentially a mind zombie in the first 15 minutes.
Yeah. Which is kind of cool.
It is. It's Nick from Let's Be Cops and New Girl. I forget his last name, but he's just a fun character actor. And he's the most relatable thing, and they killed him off. He was still around to, bother Tom Cruise's character.
Yeah.
But Tom Cruise's character, you don't connect with that. He's your average Tom Cruise character, a horn dog, suave guy, trying to get one up on others, and eventually, he falls to morality and ethics.
Mm-hmm.
But, the female lead, good character, again, well acted, well directed, but you just don't.
You don't care.
Yeah, if she dies, there's no sense of great loss. you feel there'd be a great sense of loss to the Tom Cruise character, but
Mm-hmm.
you couldn't care less if either one dies. You don't relate to it.
Personally, I cared more about Mr. Jekyll than anyone else.
He was interesting. He had mystery.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't emotional caring. It was definitely like, what's this all about? I want to know more. That's doing it right. That's a good thing. As well as a whole secret organization around him. So I loved the idea of the Dark Universe, of the Internet.
Yeah.
I wanted to see a world where Dracula and Godzilla and all these others lived in the same world, where any character could pick up a newspaper and they could drop an Easter egg of one of the other monsters were spotted or whatever.
Yeah.
That thrilled me.
Mm-hmm.
Super excited. But if Universal is watching, call me. Let me tell you how to make a character relatable, and then make sure your directors work that in.
Yeah.
The idea of giving these directors free reign and using their vision to make a movie, I love that. I'm not saying you got to stick to the originals. I am saying you have to make us give a damn about the characters, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm going back to Kong here. There was so much potential to make those characters relatable.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know how to make military people relatable? Go watch the Orville and watch the banter between the characters.
Yeah.
Suddenly one stupid ass thing back and forth, and you're like, I like that guy.
Yeah.
I know that guy. I have friends like that guy. I am that guy. Whatever. Or girl. I feel like in Kong, which is set in like 1973, they put an Asian and a black man, not Sam Jackson, but with the rest of the crew. Actually, it had a pretty well-balanced cast if you're looking for ethnic stuff.
Yeah.
But they put those two in as civilians, and I feel like those two characters from the Monarch Corporation, the kind of like the interns,
Yeah.
I felt like they could have been easily relatable.
Mm-hmm.
And you could have definitely tied some. And it's sad when you're looking to like the second and third tier characters better than your primary characters. These movies, they lacked heart and soul. They had a great face, a good personality, and an interesting, I guess I should say interesting personality for the concept or whatever.
Yeah.
But they had no heart. They had no soul. You just didn't care. You didn't go, ooh, I want to see more. You went, that was entertaining. And they are entertaining.
Yeah.
So what other thoughts do you have on this?
I kind of want to see what happens next with all of them, because they left all of them open for a part 2. Especially Dracula.
And Mummy.
And Mummy. But, like I said, I want to see what happens next, not because I care, just because I'm insanely curious, and that's just how my brain works, and...
I would just love to see it work right.
Yeah.
Now, they had been calling for, we did some research last night after finishing up the last one that we own. Which, by the way, I can show you the Wolfman tonight if you want.
The old one? The 2010 one?
Yeah, if that's old to you.
That is.
I see, to me, the old one is like the 1930s movie.
Mm.
Or whenever the original Wolfman came out, 32, whatever it was. But anyhow, they were laying out the groundwork for Bride of Frankenstein to come out originally 2018, then they moved it to 2019, and now it's off the books. They were looking at a reboot of Van Helsing unrelated to the Jackman project.
Yeah.
Will you quit showing your bunghole to the camera? There, here, just lay down. Lay down. He's going to get up and run across the camera again.
Yeah.
Woo, woo, woo. Okay, come on, keep it moving. Move your coffee cup.
Okay.
Put it here for her. So, is he really going to... No, pet him. Quick, before he jumps.
Don't go!
So anyhow, yeah, and with the hints they dropped in The Mummy with the creature from Black Lagoon and Jekyll and Hyde, where what actor was that again?
Russell Crowe.
Was supposed to star in his own thing. They had Johnny Depp signed or interested or something in one of the other movies, like The Invisible Man. And these are all kind of thrown to the wind now. Look, Universal, call me. You want to know why Star Wars is doing great? Especially, let's look at Rogue One. You related to the characters. You cared about the characters. This carried the movie. This is why there's, it's all in the writing and then translating that writing to film.
Yeah.
You've got to make people love the characters. But all in all, it's fairly entertaining for the, 4 or 5 movies that are out so far. They're not bad, not great. But special effects, directing, and acting are great. So what's missing? I'd love to see him move forward.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see him do it right.
Yeah.
Because right now the only thing that's holding me is my curiosity about the Monarch Corporation or whatever group Dr. Jekyll belonged to. Which I wouldn't mind seeing them tie it in loosely in the future and have 2 competing groups.
Yeah.
One government-based, one private-based, or one European-based, one American-based, or whatever.
Actually, I don't think the one from Mummy and Dracula was Monarch. I think that was the European-based.
It could have been.
Because in Kong and Dracula, they only... not Dracula, Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
They only showed Americans.
Mm-hmm.
No British, no...
None of Japanese.
Well, she was working for America.
Yeah, she was.
But...
which is kind of presumptuous to have... Well, okay, wait. Which she?
The Japanese chick.
In which movie?
Kong.
Okay. I was on Godzilla in my head, so... I'm like, because it started in Japan.
Yeah.
And then, basically, the nuclear power plant... And Bryan Cranston was hired by Japan. And then, American military shows up and goes, we're taking over.
Yeah.
Quick, everybody on the boat. Let's mess up Hawaii, and then we'll head for California and see what we can screw up.
Yep. Slap a hourglass triangular looking thing all over it. Call it Monarch. We're good.
The cat wants to be part of this. Okay, I think that about wraps this up. You agree?
Yeah.
Okay. So, make sure you check in the description below for the link to his Draken Slayer YouTube channel. Help encourage the kid to continue being creative.
And subscribe and like the video to him if you want to see more father and son stuff. And, yeah. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Pachinga.